Greetings to all my dirty bastards and bitches out there in our private group. Alright, this is just for you, nobody else, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm going to have a demonstration here about the belts and the technology that Dave Harlan Jr. has introduced me to that is literally saving this operation right now while I recover on my wrist. You probably can't see it, but I still have bruises to the bone on both wrists and forearms coming out, and it's almost impossible to do anything for very long. Now, this is going to be broken down into 3 parts. I'm going to show you what happens when I use one of the old belts that I used to use, and I'm not knocking them. I've done great things with them, but the difference between the belts that I was using with before and the belts that I'm using now, and on some of them, I don't even have the right grits yet, but it's not just the belts, it's the way Dave has taught me to approach this and how invaluable it is. All right, here is an Irish bastard, and we've started the hollow grind on this, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Okay, you can just see. Okay, this is in selfie mode. It's not. Oh, there you go. You can see how the grind comes up and down against the reference line that I have here on this blade. I'm trying to get it focused better. But anyway, yeah, you can just see it comes up, and that is a lack of control. You can also see how rough it is. Here how rough it is. Now that's with a 36 grit blaze. Now I've got a 36 grit that Dave Harlan has sent me from VSM. These things track like a dream, and I'm going to set it up and run it at the speed that it's supposed to be running at. And right now we've got it set at, I'm kind of being slow about it, set it at 4100 RPM. I'm going to fire it up and let you listen to it. These things are designed for your work best with a variable speed buffer. This is a 2-horse motor on here with a variable controller drive on it. We fine-tune that. Now Dave can tell you how fast this is moving. Now, I can literally see where I scratched my, see that? I can see where it cut my fingernails back like an emery board on there, because it's so rough. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and clean this line up. There's one pass, 2 passes, not quite. Oh, I overdid it on one end. I'll have to straighten it up later. We're just getting this ready to go into the fire. Okay. And the blade, look. The blade's cool enough to put my hand on. Look. Put my ugly face on there. And look at the line. Other than I got a little dip right here where I dug it in. In a little bit of a hurry, but that's all right. This is a demo. I'll straighten that out later. But look at that line. And see, it's still 36 grit, but it's a lot smoother than it was before. And look how straight that line is. Now, yeah, can I straighten it out with the other belt? I can. This is a lot smoother, a lot better. Now, I'm going to back this off. I've already got the other jig set up. This was a Norton Blaze 36. I blacked out an area here with marker. Now I'm going to show you where the real magic starts to come in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a VSM 120 grit on here. If I can get that belt to stay up there. Now, I don't know if you can see it on here. Do you see where the belts meet? See how black and nasty it is? Worn on along the edges of the tape. That's that whiteness. this belt would be worn out if it's any other belt. I've been using it to take the carbon off of a blade fresh out of the fire. And on top of that, heck, I'm gonna run it backwards. Something I would have never done with the other belts. This belt has not been cleaned, it's just been worked. I don't have time to sit around and do some of that fancy stuff with belt lubricants and stuff. I think that's a waste of money anyway. Now, where's it at? Okay, again, to show you, no tricks up my sleeve. There's the blade. I'm gonna fire it up. In fact, and we're gonna keep it at the same speed. We're gonna operate at 4,100 RPM. Let it come up to speed. And I'm just going to hit it right here to take out that black. Due to thicknesses in the belt, I might have to adjust it just a little bit on the angle. Okay, 2 passes, it's almost gone. And I'm not lingering here. Okay, that's technically 2 more, almost gone. And I'm talking about taking the cuts and scratches completely out. 3, or actually 6, 7, 8. There we go. And guess what? It's just warm enough that I don't want to leave my hand on it, but it's not hot, hot, hot. It's not hot enough to even mess up the temper if this was a tempered piece of steel. In fact, it's cooling off so fast. There. And contrary to popular belief, I do not have hands made out of steel and leather. But look at the difference. Look at the difference in the grinds. The difference in the surfaces. Let's see if I can get this just right, maybe. Well, maybe not. You can just see, you can see the difference of daylight and dark. This is almost a 240 grit. It's awesome. Now, I'm going to back up one more time, shut this off. And I'm going to demonstrate one other thing real quick, because I said there's 3 parts to this. I've shown you the difference in the technology and the techniques between a 36 grit done before and a 36 grit done now. I've showed you how fast the cleanup is on this zirconium 120 grit blue belt. Now, for anybody that's doing this for a living, there's a couple of things that you need to learn or know to do about this. This is that VSM 36 again. I don't know if you can tell, but if this was a blaze, I would think that it was on its last legs. If you look at the black on the back of that belt right there, you can see it has been put through the ringer. It's almost worn all the markings off. They're heavily worn down. Now, I'm not going to go into details of everything. First off, that's not just water down in that bucket. You're about to see me use it. You want to know what's in there, go take a blacksmithing course. You'll thank me for it. From a competent blacksmith, somebody like Tom McGinnis, Nick Rossi, and Donovan Crawford. Donovan Crawford's an amazing kind of guy. First off, he's a hoot to be around. He's absolutely an incredible man. He's a veteran. And he's crazy, like me. I like that. And I know for a fact that Donovan gives free demonstrations when he's at the Ren Fair in Muskogee. He's the blacksmith in charge of that particular operation over a number of blacksmiths, and he is phenomenal. He's also one of the heads of the Salt Fork blacksmithing. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm mounting another Irish bastard in this jig. Now, ask me more about this compound jig in about 6 to 8 weeks. You can probably contact me and Brandon McFarland. There's going to be some refined versions of this. Now, if you consider yourself a professional or a would-be professional, and you want to step your operation up for both sharpening and doing subtraction processes, or even cleanup on your fine blacksmith and forged blades, you're going to want one of these. Just saying. Anybody that talks against using a jig, let them. Those guys that don't use the jig and they freehand, I can probably freehand the hollow grind better than you any day of the week and twice on Sunday. However, I wasn't born yesterday. Now, what I have here, again, I've got an Irish bastard and it's not been cut. I'm going to put it up here. I know where to start and where to stop. I don't do a simple grind. Ask Bennett tonight. Now, here we go. Watch this. This is with a belt that you'd think's worn out. There's the first pass. Second. And generally, something like this will just wear a belt out. Light pressure. I'm probably putting about 8 psi on here, if that. I don't want to put more. Okay? There's barely any vaporization of steam coming off that or anything. So here we go. I know a lot of you have been wanting to see me actually do some work. It'll make you feel better. I'll even do some heavy breathing. No, I'm sorry. That actually costs more. Okay. Quick tip. That's it. Now I'm starting to get just a little bit of steam off of it. I'm halfway down to the grind line. Get rid of that. You do not want that to land in your lap. I'll tell you what, let's do something really phenomenal. I told you we're at 4,100 RPM. I just add 500 RPM to it. Not that much, right? Now, so optimally, I'd have a serrated 10-inch wheel instead of a solid one. It'd run even cooler. One pass. 2 passes. Not hot. Now, well, it's warm. What I consider hot and what you consider hot may be 2 different things. I wouldn't want to stick it in my armpit. Well, that's not true. It's according to how cold it was outside. Alright. Need to adjust angle just a tad here. You see, that's simple. I've got a simple post back here. I've got a locking handle. This thing is built like a tank. It doesn't warp, it doesn't move. The jig, that is. Alright, cool it off just a little bit. See, no steam, it's already back down. Because you don't want to overheat the rubber on the wheel. You're going to get in trouble doing that. Almost there. And I've been jawing a lot. And getting close, so I'm really watching it. Almost there. I'm losing the light from outside. It's getting dark. Clouds are moving in. Couple more passes. Almost. And we're there. All right. There you go. The hollow grind on this is roughed out. I could take it up to another step if I wanted to. I could clean it up. I'll probably clean it up with that 120 grit blue zirconium before I put clay on this and put it in the fire. Now I've also got the spine areas, if you know my Irish bastards, to do on this, but that just took, I think that took about 6 minutes, if that. I just did that in half the time or less. Actually less, because I was doing this. This is why you listen to Dave Harlan. I don't care if you've been doing this 50 years. I'm about to call somebody that's been doing this for 50 years and go, you ain't gonna believe this. Thanks, folks. I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate what Mr. Harlan's done to help me in my business as both a disabled veteran and as a professional knife maker and metal artist. Well, okay, I'll just say it. I normally don't say this because it sounds like I'm trying to be egotistical or something, but I'm a master metalsmith. You want to see what I do in my taste in jewelry and stuff like that, go over to the Borne and Fire jewelry page, and you can see some of the crazy stuff that I make. But oh, by the way, that's 1/4 inch material, 10-inch hollow or 10-inch wheel, radius wheel, and that's 1/4 inch material, and I just ripped almost half of it off in that period of time. Okay, thanks, folks. I appreciate you, every one of you. And I appreciate you taking this time out of your day to watch this terribly long video and at least hopefully put a smile on your face. Talk to you later. Bye.